Royals reject Harry and Meghan's humiliating reconciliation attempt. Is this the ending that Harry and his greedy wife did not want? Let's find out with us right away. Very happy to see you again on my channel. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, once the darlings of the British royal family, now find themselves in an increasingly isolated and precarious position. Their decision to step down as senior working royals in 2020 was intended to offer them freedom and independence, but it has instead led to a series of public missteps, mounting criticism, and a widening rift with the very institution they sought to escape. In a dramatic turn of events, the couple has reportedly become desperate to hold peace talks with the royal family, hoping to mend the shattered relationships that have defined their lives over the past 4 years. However, their pleas for reconciliation have been met with a stark and unforgiving reality, one that leaves little room for the restoration of trust or the possibility of a return to the fold. According to sources close to the situation, Harry and Meghan are increasingly anxious about the state of their relationship with the royal family. Their once lofty ambitions in the United States have failed to materialize in the way they had hoped, and the couple now finds themselves facing an uncertain future, both financially and personally. Their attempts to capitalize on their royal status through media deals, interviews, and public appearances have largely backfired, leaving them with dwindling public support and a strained marriage. A close confidant of the couple revealed, Harry and Meghan are at a crossroads. They realize that the path they've taken has led them further away from everything they once knew and held dear. Now, they're desperate to find a way back, to heal the wounds they've inflicted on themselves and their relationships with the royal family. This desperation has reportedly driven the couple to seek peace talks with key members of the royal family, including King Charles III. The source emphasized that the couple is keen to end the feud and start afresh, but they are finding that the road to reconciliation is fraught with obstacles. Despite Harry and Meghan's apparent desire for reconciliation, the response from the royal family has been anything but encouraging. The same source reported that while King Charles remains open to the possibility of mending his relationship with Harry, other members of the family are far less forgiving. There is a palpable fear that any discussions held with Harry could be weaponized in future tell-alls, further damaging the already fragile bonds within the family. A senior royal insider commented, "The problem is trust. How can the family trust Harry and Meghan after everything that has happened? They've aired so much dirty laundry in public, and there's a genuine concern that anything said in private could end up in the next volume of Spare or a new Netflix special. It's hard to see how they can move past that." The fear of further betrayals has created a significant barrier to any meaningful reconciliation. While King Charles may have a deep well of forgiveness for his son, the same cannot be said for other members of the royal family, who feel that Harry and Meghan have crossed too many lines to ever fully regain their trust. Meanwhile, King Charles III finds himself in a particularly difficult position. As a father, he has a natural inclination to forgive his son and seek a way to rebuild their relationship. However, as the reigning monarch, Charles must also consider the broader implications of any reconciliation with Harry and Meghan. The couple's actions have not only damaged personal relationships within the family, but have also threatened the reputation and stability of the monarchy itself. A former royal advisor noted, Charles is torn between his love for his son and his duty as king. He knows that reconciling with Harry could potentially restore some family unity, but he also understands that it could come at a great cost to the institution he now leads. It's a balancing act that he's struggling to manage. In recent months, King Charles has reportedly turned to his faith for guidance, seeking comfort in spiritual contemplation as he navigates these challenging decisions. While his capacity for forgiveness remains undiminished, the weight of his responsibilities as monarch has made it difficult for him to act on that forgiveness without considering the long-term consequences for the royal family. In fact, the cold reality is no path back. Despite the king's willingness to consider reconciliation, the broader consensus within the royal family is that there is no path back for Harry and Meghan. Their departure from royal life was not simply a step back, it was a complete severance of ties, both personal and professional. In the years since, the couple has only deepened the divide through their actions, making it increasingly unlikely that they could ever return to their former roles or be fully welcomed back into the family. A royal historian explained, "The monarchy is an institution built on tradition, continuity, and loyalty. When Harry and Meghan chose to step away, They broke that continuity. And with everything that has happened since, it's difficult to see how they could ever be reintegrated into the royal fold. The trust is gone. And without trust, there can be no true reconciliation. This harsh reality has been a bitter pill for Harry and Meghan to swallow. Despite their attempts to present themselves as champions of social justice and advocates for change, they have found that the world is less forgiving than they might have hoped. Their repeated attempts to control the narrative through media appearances and interviews have only served to alienate them further from the very people they sought to influence. The desperation of isolation. As the reality of their situation becomes increasingly clear, Harry and Meghan's desperation has only grown. The couple, once accustomed to the privileges and support that came with their royal status, now finds themselves isolated and struggling to maintain the lifestyle they once took for granted. Their financial situation, once bolstered by lucrative media deals, is now precarious, with many of their projects failing to generate the income they had anticipated. A financial expert who has analyzed their situation commented, "Harry and Meghan are in a tough spot. They've spent the last few years trying to build a brand based on their royal connection, but that connection is fading. Without the support of the royal family, they're finding it increasingly difficult to sustain their lifestyle. They're running out of options." This financial strain has reportedly put additional pressure on their marriage, with sources close to the couple describing frequent arguments and tension over their future direction. Meghan, who has always been the more ambitious of the two, is said to be frustrated with Harry's reluctance to fully embrace their new life in the United States. Harry, on the other hand, is reportedly struggling with the realization that their dream of independence has turned into a nightmare. A close friend of the couple revealed they're not in a good place. Meghan is still pushing for more projects, more exposure, more money, but Harry is burnt out. He misses the stability and security of his old life, and he's starting to question whether all of this is worth it. It's a very volatile situation, a crushing blow with the rejection. The royal family's apparent rejection of Harry and Meghan's plea for reconciliation has been a devastating blow to the couple. For Harry, in particular, the realization that he may never be fully accepted back into the fold has been a source of deep sorrow. Despite his public bravado, those close to him say that he is struggling to come to terms with the consequences of his choices. A former royal aide commented, "Harry never expected it to come to this. He always thought that no matter what, his family would find a way to forgive him and welcome him back. But the reality is that he's burned too many bridges. The family can't trust him anymore. And that's something he's finding very hard to accept." For Meghan, the rejection has been equally painful, though for different reasons. Having staked so much on their independence and the success of their new life in America, the realization that their plan has failed has been a bitter pill to swallow. Her dreams of becoming a Hollywood star and global influencer have not materialized, and the couple's attempts to stay relevant have increasingly fallen flat. A Hollywood insider observed, "Meghan thought she could take Hollywood by storm, but it hasn't worked out that way. The industry is tough, and she's finding it hard to break in. Without the royal connection, she's just another actress trying to make it. And the rejection from the royal family has only made things harder for her." Finally is a future in limbo. As Harry and Meghan face the reality of their rejection, they are left to contemplate a future that is far less certain than they once imagined. The couple's options are dwindling, and they are finding it increasingly difficult to chart a path forward. Their once bright future has been overshadowed by the mistakes of the past, and they are struggling to find a way to regain the trust and respect they have lost. A royal commentator concluded, "Harry and Meghan are in a very precarious position. They've alienated themselves from the royal family, from their friends, and from the public. They're isolated, both physically and emotionally, and they're running out of options. It's hard to see where they go from here." The rejection from the royal family has left the couple in a state of limbo, unable to move forward but unwilling to fully let go of the past. Their desperation to heal the rift has only highlighted the depth of their isolation and the extent to which they have been cut off from the world they once knew. Clearly, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's plea for reconciliation with the royal family has been met with a cold and unforgiving reality. Despite their desperate attempts to heal the rift, the trust that was once the foundation of their relationships has been shattered beyond repair. The royal family's rejection is a crushing blow to a couple who once believed that they could have it all: fame, fortune, and freedom without the constraints of royal duty. Now, as they face an uncertain future, Harry and Meghan must grapple with the consequences of their actions and the realization that their path back to the royal fold may be forever closed. In the end, their story serves as a stark reminder of the importance of loyalty, duty, and tradition. The rejection they have faced is not just a reflection of their personal choices, it is a testament to the enduring power of the monarchy and the values it represents. For Harry and Meghan, the road to redemption will be long and uncertain, and the price of their decisions will be felt for years to come.